Alright guys, Fritz back here for another cast, game number 5 in fact of this series. Again, I believe it is a best of 7, meaning that someone has to win 4 games, I think. But anyway, so spawning here at the 2 o'clock, or at the 1 o'clock on Tallcross will be the Teal Terran from... I mixed up the colors, sorry. But it'll be the Teal Terran TTF here. And his opponent will be the Yellow Zerg spawning at the 9 o'clock position, or 10 o'clock rather. It'll be eOnzErG. So let me quickly go change this overlay. But wow, I'm bad. I don't think the Zerg would play. I don't think a player named eOnzErG would actually go play a Terran as a race. I don't think it would make much sense. Alright, so I'll be very interested how eOnzErG is actually going to approach this game again, because they've mixed up his build. He's gone like 3 different openers so far, and he struggled. I mean, this early game TTF, man, he's good against Zerg, just in the really early game. So it's got to be another 9 pool. He might just do the extractor trick again, just to have consistency. There it goes. I don't think he'd be 9 pool speed, but who knows? Yeah, he's got his drone up there. So it's just going like an econ fast pool. He may even, oh well. And what? Actually, TTF's not even going to send out that scouting SCD like right yet. Okay. Alright, so it appears that maybe TTF's actually going to go for more of a econ style. Now, this looks like more of a drone scout. For this map, it actually makes sense because, well, for one, if he's gonna, he probably wants to. eOnzErG really wants to scout, just really wants to know if this is gonna be an all-in or not. How is he gonna defend it if it is? And this is a try-spawn map, so you can spawn in the. You can also spawn in the at the 5 o'clock, so you have to be a little bit aware of that. He's gonna make 6 lings as well before any kind of hatchery goes down. So there goes down the hatchery at 12. Now keep in mind, he hasn't really droned that much, okay? He's still off 9 drones, of what, if I can recall that, yep, or 8 drones rather. So he's actually even one further behind. So this isn't as economic as you'd think it would be. I mean, compared to where Terran would be, is at 16. So, I mean, definitely doing this kind of build definitely puts you behind in the economic wise. And look at it, he's just got to tie well off anyway. You have to remember as well, this map is completely flat. There's actually not a single ramp on it, if I recall. And actually, this might just fall because there's actually no repair on it. Yeah. So eOnzErG's actually in their base right now, and this is actually really, really annoying to deal with as Terran. I don't think anything he can't handle, but because the SCVs are going to be able just to block the AI at the links, allow the Marines actually to do DPS. Lings are actually a hard counter to Marines here. So, 1 Ling will actually kill off a Marine if both of them have 0 upgrades, actually. So, fun fact here, alright, so we have a layer coming up here, so it might be 2 Admiralists. Especially because he's going to have to put down a Sunken and he's going to probably drone. I don't think he's going to have the economy to do 3 hatch right now. There should be, I don't think there would be a follow-up in the 3 Admiralists with the economy right now that eOnzErG has put himself into. He has done some good damage. I mean, I think the most you could probably hope for off a 9 without speed at least. Yeah, he's up at 16 to 20 SP, so he's got off back. But remember, I mean, that could have been more lings, getting more better map control. I mean, right now, the only thing that's contained is Terran right now, and he's realizing that is 2 lings. And I think the further he realizes, the further he focuses on to realize, like, well, great, there's actually nothing out there. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be 2 Admiralists. He's still droning, but I think he needs to get that second gas going to really make 2 Admiralists really work. And especially 3 Admiralists. Alright, so the S3 goes down the spire, so it's gonna be 2 Admiralists coming out of eOnzErG right now. So, yep. Nothing out of the super ordinary, at least, I guess. I thought I heard. I thought that was a dropship floating out for a second. I was like, oh man, what's going on? So that SCV didn't get inside the base, I don't think. So yeah, I don't think he saw that. Oh man, they're still trying to find people for that? It's not even that late, it's only 9. And this is when we normally run tours. Wow, I'm surprised. Alright, but anyway, we're actually gonna see eOnzErG do what he did on the destination game. And the only thing is there's no back door. This is actually a map that's gonna be very difficult to actually get a vulture run by in. Especially if they're properly like put like an Evo chamber here or something like that, you know, it'd be tough. He's getting speed, so I actually cannot tell what he's going. He's getting armory. Actually, no, never mind. Okay, he's getting the academy for comsat. He's getting eBay for turrets, and he's getting the armory for Goliath. Yeah, there he was on the comsat. Okay, it's taking me a while to put one and one together. Okay. Meatless are out, and remember, it's 2 hash meatless, okay? And that armory, he's not going to have nearly enough Goliath in time to really deal with these meatless effectively. Okay, keep in mind. And these might be just purely for upgrades, yeah. Okay, again, there's the eBay for the turret. But, yeah, this shield's actually going to do a lot of damage in here. And that turret's done. I mean, it's taking too much damage. This natural is going to be stop mining for quite some time here. What's the follow-up? We're going to have a hatchery, so we've got to try to master out of this hatch. Needless at this point. The one true transition, again, is Spirit Spire, but it's so far off. And alright, so with the addition of Mr. Turret in the main base, the only kind of damage he can kind of do right now, and why would he leave? He could continue to harass this mineral line here, but he's just not. But he's probably back hurting behind it. But yeah, we have a vulture run by that's gotten 4 kills around-ish. We might have, if it was over 4 kills, we'll get a 5 drone thing over down here soon. But so I guess kind of like trading, making it effective here. But the thing though is, those vultures were kind of in the tech path of the Goliath anyway. Or what TTF actually wants to go in this matchup. If we want to see a game, there's really nothing like in the tech path of Spire for Terran versus Zerg. I mean, unless it's Spire, but again, that's circumstantial, and you're probably not going to see it. But these vultures are being really annoying, and it's actually really great what TTF is doing right here. He's actually making sure he's being so active, and again, this is like showing a really high-level player right here. TTF, what he's doing is just like, oh well, if you want to be active with your meatless, well, I'm gonna be active with my vultures. I'm gonna get in your base, and you know how you're gonna send my vultures? Oh, you're gonna have to pull your meatless back, or else you're gonna lose 10 drones. Kind of like hard countering what 2X meatless is, and it's actually working really, really well. And as you can see, these meatless actually aren't being active on the map, so it's be really effective. And he's still even got a drone kill. It's so bizarre. Wow. He turned down speed a little bit too. That actually keeps better. Alright, so we have more continued mech play coming up right now. And he's getting +1 just finishing now. And I mean, that's a good amount of meatless, but again, I mean, he has to be active with them. And Goliath now have +1. Okay, he's just finishing up Carapace now, so he's getting Hydroden, a very, very late Hydroden. And again, it's purely because of the 2-edge meatless. It's actually going to throw him really good, far behind. Alright, so he's throwing down an Evo chamber. It looks like he's going to probably take a 4th base in this round, maybe? No, never mind. That was going southbound. Alright. And the other thing I forgot to mention, though, is that this 3rd base is actually helping TTF in some regards, because it's actually expanding to his opponent where he's expanding away. So that actually does help out TTF and by closing the distance with his vultures. He's not getting any +2 right now, and that's purely because he can't get it with the tech he has. He needs to get a science facility out. But I don't think we even have a science facility out. I mean, starport out, rather. Okay, and alright, well, he's on the sweet spot against the refinery here. This is just annoying to deal with. He's gonna go in here. He's actually repairing it right now, but he's actually just taking hits from us. He's killing off one SCV so far, but he's actually just taking more hits than it's worthwhile killing off a refinery that's being repaired. And I'll let you know, the resources like lost by repairing a refinery isn't really that much. And he's probably pulled off maybe 2. 1, if not 2 SCVs right there. So, yeah. Alright, so we have a good amount of Hydras out, and that's to be expected from Mech. But that is so many Goliath, it is going to be hard to actually kill off these tanks here. And we need Hive Tech. We need to see a Queen's Nest go down now, because this is the timing where you would get Hive anyway. That's not a Queen's Nest. And he's going to pressure with like 1,000 Goliaths. But Hydras are really good against Beetles walking turrets. But if they're not by eOnzErG though, there is a good amount of stuff here. Remember, the Hydra are the ones that are doing the good amount of TTF kills. And yeah, it looks like there was well, actually, yeah, now the Beetles are all starting to fall right here. I was gonna say there's a lot of Goliaths there. Hydras are really good, but he may clean up the Goliaths again. But he's lost how many Beetles? And there's something to be said for players that will like throw away Beetleists to like free up supply because they don't need them anymore. That makes sense, but in this scenario, you don't want to throw away like 8 Beetleists to some worthwhile from some worthless engagement rather. Man, what? This guy is just not finding any luck by finding participants in this tournament, man. We need to have like daily playham stuff like StarCraft 2. He's not even getting the main base here. Oh. Yeah, this actually is going to be a nail in the coffin because eOnzErG not only failed to actually trade effectively, he's lost his entire army. He's just lost a couple drones. It's 36. Well, he's actually about even in harvesters, but still, things are just not going in his favor right now. And anyway, but again, TTF isn't a player that really wants to take that third base really fast. It's now almost 13 minutes in the game now, and he gets actually here. It's looking like he's gearing up for it by the tank positioning here. Because eventually it's probably just going to send like an artificial wall, possibly, to eventually take off this third base. But there's really no easy way to take that third base as it's kind of very open. So either you make an artificial wall, or you put tanks in position like this. Alright, Vulture's gonna try to sneak their way back into the main base here, and it looks like he's gonna do it. Those 2 Sungins are not gonna actually do anything. You need to wall that area off with like an Evo chamber or something. He's gonna get the main base here, and this is actually we have an engagement happening over here as well. He's getting in position here. This might be all in at this point for eOnzErG here. Look how many drones were killed. Oh my god. 8 drones were killed by that. That is huge. We have a 4th base coming up right here for eOnzErG though. It's... he can re-drone fast, but I don't know if he can afford to do that. It's 83 supply down to 92. So, well, I mean, TTF is definitely doing what he needs to do, but he's like doing everything to prolong this third base. I mean, remember, this is almost mined out. And also remember, that natural expansion is going to be mined out soon, too. I mean, it's probably about maybe the 3rd or halfway done mined out by now, but that's going to mine out quickly with the saturation that's on it. And remember, Zerg doesn't have full saturation on all bases here, so those bases are going to mine happily for quite some time. So Zerg might not necessarily have a better economy from like the income that they're getting, but it's a longer lasting economy, and I think that's probably the best thing to say about Zerg. They have like the same economy rate as another race, but because they have so many bases, they actually mine for actually longer too. So Oh, this is gonna hurt. This is really, really gonna hurt. Really gonna hurt. All those Hydra are going to die. Oh, but like 2 of like the 8 that engage right there. Okay, guys. There's a lot of meatless here. He's going to target fire the tanks here. It's important. It doesn't matter. Look at the amount of dead Hydra carapaces that are like bodies that are lying on the floor here. That is sure a lot of meatless. Is there enough to line to deal with it? It doesn't appear that like there is. 1 inch left to be of TTF here. He only has 4 Marines that actually shoot in the air. That's all he has left to shoot in the air here. And I believe that it was at least 14. No, that's 16 meatless right there. Okay. I think TTF may have lost. And it just goes back down to the fact that they never took that third base. And when he tried to do it, this push game. And to some extent, though, it's probably all from eOnzErG as well, by the damage he's taken. But I think what TTF with the mindset of going into this game was like, well, I'm gonna go try to break down this because he went 2 seconds to defend him well. It just never happened like that. I don't think the 2 HP list never really did what they were supposed to do, but TTF really wasn't aggressive enough. Like, he never like pushed. He did like hard push. He saw push like to get like vulture harassed in it, which by no means was no big feat. But like, he's even rallying like drones down here. I think this is probably accidental, but still. We needed to see some kind of like push from TTF. The problem though is, like, if that army died of his and traded in this push, like, they would have overwhelmed. I mean, this is just mass meter at this point. He has +2 carapace. Goliath are gonna do shitty against these things. He's getting even missile attack now. He feels confident. I mean, he can start just one-shotting Goliath now. Again, Goliath are like soft counters. It looks like they're doing a ton of DPS, and over time they will, but with only +1, they're not gonna do too much. And with this kind of meatless right here, he can just go in here and force it out. Now again, I don't think going mass meatless against Goliath is really the smartest move, but like I said, there's no transition from 2 meatless. I mean, TTF may hold, but again, you only have 2 bases. They're gonna have a 4. And you're just gonna target fire the E base and get the high ground advantage. High ground division advantage. That did cost him though. That was a lot of meals, that was kind of worthless. But he's so far ahead as it stands, I don't think he's in any kind of position where he can lose, especially when he's continuing to design that third base for so long. That's actually funny. That's such a jerk move. That created. You have to realize that's imbalance right there. He's gonna. Ow. That's such a jerk move right there. 2 drones have been killed off so far. He's gonna be attacking with a lot of Hydras front door here. There's only 2 tanks, but again, if they get +3, they get just 2-shot or 1-shot Hydra. Yeah, he just went in there and stepped off the siege tank. He has air control. And it's just a matter of time before TTF leaves. It's just, when does he decide to leave? TTF's aggressive, man, and I feel like he wins the game, but he just doesn't. He's off the same economy, and then it just dies down, and then he can't really afford to deal with the better economy of eOnzErG. I mean, eOnzErG was all in, but eOnzErG was like, well, what can I do? I'm gonna take another base, and I think he may even realize, like, well, TTF's only gonna take like a 20-minute third base anyway, and even if he takes another base, it's gonna be so far behind an economy. Like, eOnzErG's gonna be so far ahead in economy-wise, he can just actually just attack the third base and just continue denying it, and then he can just starve out TTF. I mean, I don't think eOnzErG's actually having a difficult time actually engaging because he's just pure meatless. And I mean, he has 2-1 in the Hydra, so he's eventually. I mean, it comes to a certain extent where the 2H meatless like eventually has a transition because he hasn't done off for so long. But again, I mean, he has so many Hydralists. Like, this is not normal death in terms of reserve. But yeah, he's gonna go in here. I think he's gonna be able to end the game now. But it's just not being funny. He's like auto moving. And he's gonna lose all the meatless this is what we need to see. We need to see the Hydra come in here. They'll just make sure work on these tin cans. So there's a GG. There we go. So I've learned a lot from this game. I've learned that Goliaths eventually aren't that great against Beetalisks, but then they kind of are good. So they're kind of like a soft counter. I kind of learned that today from this game. But anyway, eOnzErG won, so it's great for him. And I found out that this player is really aggressive. And something to note, I mean, like, if you're watching the series and you're a really aggressive player, one of the very common downfalls probably from a very aggressive play is when you take your expand. I don't think TTF has mastered that. I think his micro is good. I think his decision making is good. All good except for taking that third base and defending it well. Because he's so aggressive, like, it feels like he almost wins, but then it just turns out that he has such a shitty economy and it just starts dying down. He can't, like, afford. It's not like a macro game where you trade well and then you kind of, like, kill off 8, 10 drones a base maybe, and you have that equal amount of bases, then you can actually just outproduce your opponent. That doesn't happen here. He actually just types up a hatchery just to make him dead even. And if that makes any kind of sense. But guys, we'll go on to our next game here, and eOnzErG may actually just win, or TTF may come back. I'll be interested. Because I really like TTF, but I like eOnzErG as well.